Hi and welcome to Soapbox, the Soaps podcast brought to you by radiotimes.com. We're here every week to talk about the soaps, what's happening, what's about to happen. I'm Jonathan Hughes and I'm joined by...
David Brown.
Do you like the big intro I give you, David, every week?
I don't think I'm worthy of it. I feel like it's a bit of a letdown.
Oh, well, your words.
It sounds like it's going to be like, and Lee Mack.
Yeah, we couldn't get Lee Mack, but we got David Brown. I'm planning to make it more elaborate every week, your introduction.
Can I have a jingle?
Oh, well, watch this space.
Yes.
Maybe.
There you go.
So the big news of this week is really about something that hasn't actually happened, but was foreshadowed on EastEnders this week. Linda and Mick got great news. That the Queen Vic has won Made Up Pub of the Year, Best Ever in the UK or London Fictional Soap Pub Award. Yay!
And it means that they're going to be having this riverboat cruise down the Thames.
For all the cast, I mean locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that when this happens, you know when the opening titles comes on and you see the river, do you think there'll be like a little boat on the opening titles kind of making its way down the Thames?
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And I think that then... it's going to zoom in like Google Maps style, do you think?
Exactly.
CGI trickery.
Yeah.
So this competition that the Queen Vic has won, it's a boat party, and that we now know, because they've told us, is going to form the basis of EastEnders' 35th anniversary week in February, and it's going to be the backdrop to a big week of drama, apparently. Now, what we know is most of the cast are going to be on a boat for this party. Secrets will explode.
I think the boat will explode.
I think possibly the boat might explode. Someone's going to die.
Yeah. Because
it's an anniversary and someone has to die, don't they?
And they've said it's going to be somebody integral to the show.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Dot's cat or something like that. It's going to be...
I would actually be upset if Dot's cat died.
It'd be the worst thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think... So let's have a little kind of speculation as to who might die.
And can I just say, all bets are off. It could be anybody. Yeah. Literally anybody.
As Max Bowden has told you this week.
Well, Max Bowden, I interviewed Max, who plays Ben. We had a lovely chat the other day. And he was filming on the boat when I spoke to him. And he said, literally, expect the unexpected. Could be any of us.
We've seen some paparazzi pictures, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, I've tried to shut my eyes because I don't really want to know. But yes, there are some potential spoilers out there. What have you seen?
Okay, I have seen a picture of Keanu.
Who? But he's dead.
Keanu.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Sorry, Keanu.
Keanu.
I've seen Keanu.
Do you think Keanu just comes back to tell Phil how to pronounce his name?
Yeah. Phil, I wanted to tell you.
It's pronounced Keanu. And that's him going over the side of the boat.
Yep. Yeah. So I've seen a picture of him. I've seen Jack Brenning.
Yeah.
Like kind of looks like he's really anguished, like he's yelling or like kind of crying.
He often looks anguished. He doesn't smile much though.
It's because that polo neck is so tight on his neck.
I feel anguished when I watch Jack in that polo neck.
Restrictive.
I can't breathe.
So maybe it's someone close to Jack.
Denise.
Max.
Dot.
Oh, Dot. Would they kill Dot on the 35th anniversary?
So that is going to be the most brave thing ever if they decide to kill Dot. I just don't know. Would they do that?
I'd like it so that her cigarette was like a periscope and that was the last thing you saw of her.
Like floating up from the Thames.
Yeah.
As the searchlight goes across the... And then I think the last thing you hear is...
She just disappears.
Yeah, that's it. That's like a post-credits thing. They can't kill Dot.
No, I wouldn't have imagined that they would kill Dot. Can I ask a question about Sonia, actually? Sorry, while we're at it. You know how Sonia is defrauding Dot at the moment out of money?
Is, yeah.
So she's doing it because she's got to pay off this man in the hospital.
Yes. George? Is his name George?
And we found out that she was doing this on New Year's Day.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused. Is that where you're going with this?
Well, that's when we found out she was doing it. New Year's Day was a flashback to Christmas Day.
Yeah.
At which point this George character was in a coma.
Yes.
So why was she taking money from Dot at that point?
I don't know is the actual honest answer. I wondered on Christmas Day whether Sonia was trying to get money together in case Martin needed to disappear quickly.
Oh, so it wasn't for the purpose of the blackmail.
Maybe Sonia had read the storylines ahead.
Yeah, I've got a plan ahead.
She's very organised.
Yeah, I've read next week.
I need money. Oh, you're the brains of the outfit, son. That's what I've always said, dear. As Dot said this week. That is a very good point, David, because I'm not sure, because as you say, George was not awake.
To blackmail anybody.
No, so maybe she was preempting, or maybe, didn't she think at that point Martin needed to go on the run?
So she was getting cash for that.
Maybe she just wanted to go to the next sale on Boxing Day. Yeah. She just fancied a new dress. Yeah. And she thought, I'll just nick $5,000 off Dot.
One pricey dress.
So maybe Sonia dies as punishment for stealing.
She's transgressed. In her case, it would be a trumpet periscope.
A trumpescope.
Yeah. I think it's not going to be like one of your key Mick, Linda.
Oh, it better be.
I'm wondering.
I want my money back if it's not.
I'm wondering whether it's somebody who is kind of notable but disposable.
Who might that be?
Tina Carter. So, like, say Linda's booziness gets out of control and she inadvertently brings about the cause of Tina's death. Well, this then gives the Carter storyline for the next year.
It does, and they have said that they've implied it's more of a tragedy than a comeuppance of sorts, and it's heartbreaking and it's really unexpected. But but anyone in the Carters is pretty A-list, aren't they? But
they need to find stories for the Carters which don't involve them cheating on each other.
But they've got Linda's alcoholism is doing that anyway. Does it need another aspect to it? Does it need a death? Because she's already embroiled in the Keanu Martin business. I don't know if it needs it. And I think you're right that they do need Mick and Linda stories that don't revolve around infidelity. But so far so good with the alcoholism, because it is tearing them apart, but no one is having an affair with anybody.
But this could be like the next stage of it.
Yeah, that's true, the ultimate consequence. What about Shirley? What if Mick's wife killed his mum?
Yeah, but she's very popular, Shirley.
Are you saying Tina isn't?
No, I'm saying that Shirley's kind of... She fulfills a role in that she's there to be kind of acidic.
Yeah.
And
she's almost like a kind of Pat type, isn't she? An early Pat Butcher.
Whereas Tina, I think, has been a little bit ill-served by
I agree that Tina's been ill-served, yeah. I see where you're coming from. It would be a shame, because I really like Tina, but yeah,
I like her as well, but
she hasn't had much to do, perhaps. No. And it would break, everyone's heart in that family, wouldn't it?
Yes.
But also, how could you ever come back for Mick and Linda from that? And I think you need to be careful what Linda does when drunk, in that it might be worse than an affair if she kills somebody. I feel like EastEnders want to test the marriage. Ultimately, they want it to survive, as do the viewers. So if Linda was responsible for a death, I'm not sure that could ever be redeemable.
Well, she might not be responsible for death, but she could knock Mick into the water, and then Tina jumps in to rescue Mick, and Tina ends up drowning.
Pray for Tina.
Yeah.
I think Tracy. I'm sure I saw Tracy in some of those paparazzi pictures.
So Tracy falls in, but because she doesn't get any lines of dialogue, she's not allowed to scream.
You never hear it. In the Thames, no one can hear you scream.
So no one notices she's fallen in.
They're waiting. It's not till Easter that they realise she's dead.
Have you ever had a dream like that where you're falling and you can't vocalise what's happening, you can't scream?
Yeah.
That's going to be Tracy's dilemma.
That's Tracy's life. Yeah. She can't vocalise anything because she's not allowed.
So the silent scream, it's like Edvard Munch's picture.
She's literally living the scream.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Maybe you're onto something. Tracy is an integral part of the show. She's been in the show almost since, day one, 3 years into the show. And it would really break the nation's heart if Tracy died. And also, who'd get to cover anyone in the Vic? That would be a shame.
Tina, gives her a job. There you go.
That's Tina's storyline.
So there we've killed off Tracy.
We've killed off Tracy.
Tina. Dot. Well done, us.
Who is more likely, or do we think, are we just going to, nail our colours to the mast with this? I've got more theories here. I'm wondering whether Callum might buy it because, Ben Mitchell seems to be eternally punished by EastEnders, and it would, give him a big storyline if he loses another soulmate in tragic circumstances.
But then they would get the whole bury your gaze.
Maybe they would.
Criticism.
That's true. So maybe they wouldn't do it possibly for that reason. I wonder whether Martin even, because Martin is sliding into self-loathing and terrible behaviour. And also, this is a weird thing, I think we've discussed this before, the first ever episode of EastEnders 35 years ago featured Pauline Fowler announcing her pregnancy with Martin Fowler. Kind of a full circle to his life, isn't it? That,
his death gets announced.
His death is announced the day his birth.
The trouble is, he's taller than the depth of the Thames. So if he fell into the Thames, he would just be fine. He'd just be like us standing in the shallow end of a pool.
So he could never die due to height.
Well, not by drowning.
No.
He could die by other means.
He could do, but I don't know. What do you reckon, though, Martin? I feel it's got to be someone more heritage.
And then that brings Stacey back to the square.
Yeah, and then she'll kind of never know that, it's all... They split up for nothing, really.
Yeah.
In some ways, is it the tragedy of that for Stacey going forward is huge. I don't know. When you think of heritage characters, it's Martin Fowler, anyone in the Mitchells, Sharon, Ian, and Dot.
Sharon's giving birth, though, isn't she? Water birth.
Sharon, yeah. Talk about a water birth. Oh my gosh, I'm really worried about Sharon.
I was drowning. I'm drowning.
That may be the TV event of the year. Sharon giving birth.
It beats Lola in the McClunkies.
Oh, with the Olympic torch going past.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't think they'll call Sharon. No. I don't know. This is the thing, is it? This is the guessing game we're all now playing, because every big character you think of, you go, oh, they won't do that. But it's got to be someone.
They might. They probably won't.
No, I hope we're not disappointed. But there's a lot. I think there's a lot riding on this anniversary week. There's a lot going into it. But I think Enders has been, very, very good of late, and I think they're really carefully building to the anniversary. It's very important, I think, for fans, very important for the show, and for future proofing of the show. Future proofing of the show. You look at the 25th and the 30th, they had really big events like Who Killed Archie and Who Killed Lucy and Kathy Back from the Dead. Really set the agenda for the next few years on the show. So
Indeed.
The pressure's on for it to start another chapter for the show. Killing someone very important. I don't know. I'm very excited.
Do you think it'd just be one death?
I hope there's more.
So if it is Sharon, then maybe Sonia's delivering the baby and they both die.
And then she plays the trumpet.
Yeah.
She plays the last post as Sharon passes away. I don't think Sharon's going to die.
There's death elsewhere in the other soaps as well, or in Emmerdale coming up, isn't there? Because
I'm going to do my Graham voice.
We're gearing up for Graham.
Yes, I think he's about to kick the bucket.
We had the montage, didn't we, at the end of Friday? So it's like, I want him dead. No, I want him dead. No,
I thought
me
that
first.
Was like a trailer. I thought that could be played as a trailer before, you go and see Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, this January, everybody wants him dead.
There is a trailer, though.
But that montage...
It was better.
I thought it was better because it put everyone in the mix, didn't it? Marlon and his knife skills.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, you know what they should have had? Like at the deli counter in Tesco's where you have to take the ticket to find out what number before you get served. They should have all been taking tickets, to say, I want him dead. No, I want him dead. I'm first. Take a ticket and stand in line.
Maybe that's what happens next week in Graham Week. They just all queue up.
Graham gets killed in the deli counter.
Well,
at David's shop.
It's all top secret, isn't it, how he goes? A lot of foreshadowing. I feel like this week was all foreshadow to Graham, but I feel like it's also involving so many characters and so many motivations that there is a lot to set up. But he's going to go. I'm going to miss Graham. And I really loved Graham and Al arguing over biscuits this week. Of all the things, that they're setting up that argument over who's
lots of food-based drama, because we also had Jay's Pizza with the extra meatballs.
Vegan special with extra meatballs.
You've ordered that in work, haven't you?
Stop it! Shut up! I told you not to mention that.
You ordered it last week. You ordered it over Christmas pickup.
That was my last day. Please get me the vegan special with the extra meatballs. Well, if Jay has had a few of those vegan specials, then he's in line, isn't he, to be one of the suspects? As is Kim, who turns out actually sort of properly loves Graham. there's that kind of swinging brick that passes for a heart. Is she kind of loves him. So it might be a crime of passion on Kim's part.
So if we have to cut this time next week, we will know.
Yes, we're going to find out on Friday. So it's the same day, told from different perspectives, that plays across all week next week in Emmerdale. The last day of the week is Graham's perspective, when we're going to obviously see what he sees and find out who did it. So we will be able to discuss it next week.
But predict it now. Who do you think it's going to be?
Andrea Tate.
Me too.
And I'm going to say Andrea and Jamie together, I think.
Right, okay.
I think it's going to be more than one person. I feel like that's going to be a bit of a bluff. A bit like what Hollyoaks did with Who Shot Mercedes. It turned out it was two people. It's kind of a Orient Express style deal where there's more than one person is, culpable. Mm-hmm. I think Andrew and Jamie, because I think, again, going back to
they've got no personality apart from
let's give them something to do. But also it does set the agenda for them as characters. They're quite new. We don't know much about them. And, they're part of the biggest family really in the show. They are yet to really play their hand. And I think this would give them a massive story that can define them and take them forward.
Are they charismatic enough to carry it?
You know what? Andrea particularly, I've really warmed to. I think you could kind of, just a blank canvas, you could do anything with the character. And I think there's, I've seen flashes of intrigue, I think, around that performance. And I think Jamie is a bit of a wet weekend, but that's really the point of Jamie. I think Jamie, as the son of Kim Tate, should be, like a gangster or like a gentleman thief, but he's not, he's an innocent, naive guy. But I think if you look at what James By's done with Martin Fowler, the boy next door, the fruit and veg vendor, and he's terrifying and utterly convincing as somebody who has gone a bit Kylo Ren and just gone to the dark side. So I wonder whether that might make Jamie kind of,
And it would bring him and Andrea back together, but it's like a pact, a murder pact.
Exactly. I'd like it if it was them. We've basically invented this storyline between us.
And then Millie will find out next Christmas.
Yeah, but Millie also might be the killer, as we've implied before, which would be the ultimate thing as well.
I reckon Millie could be involved.
Millie could be involved.
Dash Graham with a massive rock.
Steady on. What about Belle? Belle's killed before.
Belle has killed. But what's her motive?
Oh, you can make up a motive in 5 minutes. It's a soap. Come on. Yeah. I don't know. There'll be lots to talk about with that next week.
Yeah, indeed.
What about Corrie? Anything to report on Corrie this week for you?
Corrie.
Shona, David. That's been quite a lot. Yasmin and Jeff. That's kind of been the main stories this week.
With Shona, I do kind of start kind of balking at the thought of a memory loss twist.
Have you never seen Sunset Beach?
Well, this is I always think of 24. Do you remember the first series of 24 where Jack Bauer's wife, Terry, we were kind of 2/3 of the way through the series, and they'd obviously kind of slightly run out of ideas, so they gave Terry Bauer memory loss. I think
Shona style.
Yeah. And it was just very convenient. Like on Friday when the doctor said, it could take up to a year at this made-up neurological clinic. And David should have gone, that's the entire time that she's on maternity leave.
She's having a baby in about a couple of weeks. What are you on about? Yeah, it is a bit convenient. I think for a maternity leave storyline, it's very drastic. Look, Jenny McAlpine just went to look after her mum because she had a broken leg twice in a row.
It's always kind of like an off-screen sick relative.
Yeah. And it also almost like, let's paper over it, it doesn't matter if they're not around sort of thing. It's just very underplayed. But this is like really sort of devastating, isn't it, what they've done to
I wonder if they've kind of like bulked filmed a load of scenes of Shona.
Oh, yeah, being visited.
Yeah, no, just being shown like flashcards of various Platt members.
And going, no.
I don't recognise them.
Nothing. No, nothing.
Yeah, shown pictures of Adam Rickett instead of Ben Price to catch her out.
She should remember Adam Rickett, but not Ben Price.
Yeah, she'll remember Adam Rickett. Yeah. Didn't he sing I Breathe Again?
That would be ace. Yeah. I hope they have. But yeah, pray for Shona as well.
Well, kind of. But I would have thought that they'll have done quite a few little drop-in inserts.
Yeah, that's true because she's in this rehab centre that they could have done a bit of bulk.
And next week, David is going to say to Max that he has to go up to wherever she's going.
Leeds, I believe she's going, yeah.
So Max has got to stay with Granny Marion, Marion, while she goes up to see Shona. So that'll give them, as long as Jack P keeps that beard for continuity, then
don't freak her out by shaving.
Yeah.
It's not going to help, is it?
Exactly.
Dear.
So we had a bit of that, didn't we? That was the main thing. Yeah, Jeff and Yasmin.
Yes, rolls on.
Yeah. He was running a bit of a risk, wasn't he, with the alcoholism ruse?
Yeah, I think so. Because there's just too many variables, I think. And Jeff is very controlling, and obviously that's his thing. But there's a lot of variables. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's all going to come tumbling down because he's losing his grip on her. I
am quite liking this storyline out of all the Corrie plot lines at the moment. Basically, because I want to climb in the TV and threaten Jeff with one of those vacuum cleaner implements that he's so fond of forcing Yasmin to use.
That's got to be the end game for this story, isn't it?
I don't like that chain he wears around his neck as well.
It's a little bit uncomfortable to kind of... It's the proximity to flesh.
Yeah, it's very 70s DJ. But he is a DJ, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hospital DJ. He's very odd character. Yeah. He's very creepy, Jeff, isn't he? And I think this story is compelling, bizarrely so, because it came out of nowhere. But actually, as you say, it is one of the most kind of intriguing plots in the show at the moment.
I was thinking that Shelley King, who plays Yasmin, who'd have thought, like for the first year or so when she was saddled with Sharif.
Oh, yeah.
They had nothing to do.
No.
So the best thing really for that character has been for him to have left, really, because it's given her
definitely
a whole new range of emotions to play, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much better now that he's not in it.
I mean, thank God for this coercive storyline.
Yeah. We love it.
We love it. Yeah, it is good. Quick Hollyoaks mention.
Yes.
So, you know how Warren and Sienna's babies are just kind of swapped between mother and father every few months? Are they in a different country? Are they being kidnapped? More kidnap this week.
How old are these babies now?
I feel like...
They're not babies anymore.
No, they are 2 and a bit.
Toddlers.
Yeah, so I think 2.5 nearly.
Do they not vocalise their displeasure at being shoved from pillar to post?
I think of them as is it Baby Herman in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? They actually, when they say...
Who am I staying with this week?
When they say cut, say, oh, for God's sake, darling, where am I this week? I mean, it's Lomas, it's Passy, I don't know where I am. But yeah.
So they all speak like Anna Passy.
Like mother, like son and daughter. So Sienna's got them. And she's stolen them back off of Warren. Yeah. It is past the parcels. Yeah. And she's gone off. Not forever, because actually we know that Anna Passy just had a nice holiday with her Australian boyfriend, and she had 6 weeks off, so she's having a lovely time. But I feel like there needs to be a tracker on those kids because they are kind of everywhere at the moment.
Find My Toddler
app. They're with Sienna somewhere, and they're going to be gone for a little while, but they will be back. Meantime, Warren's going to kind of get a taste of his own medicine. But anyway, great to have Warren and Sienna back in the same room because they are literally the most bonkers couple in soap history. So I loved them being back together. So that was Hollyoaks. Any other soap business, David?
No, I really need to put in my pizza order.
Starving for some extra meatballs.
Extra meatballs. I think we better go and do that. It's Friday after all.
We're going to order some J specials now. So
Sharma specials.
Some Sharma specials. Thank you very much for joining us. We're here every week. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and whatever else you find your podcasts. Join us again next time. Many thanks.